When you think of the word villain, what comes to mind? Is it raw power, unwavering confidence, or perhaps a carefully orchestrated plan that leaves everyone else playing catch-up? For anime fans, Sosuke Aizen from Bleach embodies all of these qualities and more. His influence on modern anime villains cannot be overstated. Aizen didn't just redefine what it means to be a villain, he set a new standard. Sosuke Aizen wasn't your typical antagonist. He wasn't loud or brash like many of his contemporaries. Instead, he was calm, calculated, and above all, confident. From the moment he revealed his betrayal of Soul Society, it became clear that Aizen operated on a different level. What made Aizen truly terrifying wasn't just his immense power, it was his intellect. He wasn't fighting his enemies, he was manipulating them into fighting themselves. Every battle, every decision, and every twist felt like it was part of Aizen's grand design, as if he had written the script for the story himself. This blend of intelligence, charisma, and overwhelming strength became a blueprint for many anime villains that came after him. And today, you can see Aizen's fingerprints all over modern anime antagonists. Let's start with Aizen's most defining trait, his intellect. Aizen wasn't just smart, he was 10 steps ahead. He orchestrated events that spanned centuries, manipulating not only the Gotei 13, but also entire worlds. This same level of strategic genius is a hallmark of modern villains like Meruem from Hunter x Hunter. Meruem starts as a ruthless, nearly invincible king. But as his character develops, we see a level of intelligence and strategic thinking that mirrors Aizen's. Both characters are terrifying not because of their strength alone, but because they use their minds as their greatest weapons. Then there's Sukuna from Jujutsu Kaisen. While Sukuna leans more on brute force and chaos, he shares Aizen's confidence and knack for control. Sukuna doesn't just overpower his opponents, he toys with them, much like how Aizen would use Kyoka Suigetsu to manipulate an entire battlefield. The psychological dominance both characters exhibit is chilling. Another key trait Aizen popularized is charisma. Aizen didn't need to scream or threaten to make his presence felt. His calm demeanor made him more unsettling, as if he knew something you didn't, and usually he did. Take Shigaraki from My Hero Academia. Early on, Shigaraki lacked the confidence and composure that Aizen had. But as the series progresses, we see him evolve into a more calculated and charismatic leader. This transformation feels heavily inspired by villains like Aizen, who embody the idea that true power is quiet, composed, and deliberate. Even in Attack on Titan, Zeke Yeager shares a similar aura. He's calm, collected, and always seems to have an answer for everything. Whether it's his conversations with Eren or his manipulation of Marley's military, Zeke's confidence mirrors Aizen's ability to dominate any situation without breaking a sweat. Of course, we can't talk about Aizen without mentioning his god complex. Aizen didn't just want power, he wanted to transcend it. His obsession with the Hogyoku and his desire to surpass the limits of mortality added a layer of philosophical depth to his character. Modern villains like Madara Uchiha from Naruto share this same ambition. Madara's goal of creating a perfect world through the infinite Tsukuyomi echoes Aizen's desire to ascend beyond the confines of humanity. Both characters challenge the idea of what it means to be mortal and force their protagonists to grapple with these larger-than-life philosophies. Similarly, Dio Brando from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure embodies a similar god complex. His declaration of being the ultimate life form reflects Aizen's belief in his own superiority. Both characters push their series into territory that's more than just hero versus villain. They make it a battle of ideologies. Then there's Aizen's power itself. Kyoka Suigetsu, his Shikai, is the perfect metaphor for what makes him such an influential villain. Absolute hypnosis. the ability to control perception itself. This isn't brute force. It's something far more terrifying. This idea of overwhelming, almost unfair power can be seen in villains like Gojo Satoru's counterpart, Sukuna in Jujutsu Kaisen, or even Makima from Chainsaw Man, whose control over others creates a similar sense of dread. These villains don't win because they're stronger. They win because they break the rules of how power is supposed to work. Looking at the modern anime landscape, it's clear that Aizen wasn't just a great villain, he was a game changer. He proved that villains didn't need to be loud or flashy to be effective. They could be calm, calculated, and philosophical, and still leave a lasting impression. Aizen also showed us that the best villains aren't just obstacles for the hero to overcome. They're mirrors that reflect the hero's weaknesses, their fears, and their potential. This legacy lives on in characters like Meruem, Sukuna, and Madara, who continue to push their protagonists and us as viewers to think deeper about the nature of power, ambition, and humanity. Sosuke Aizen may not be the first anime villain, but his influence can be felt in almost every corner of the genre. He raised the bar for what it means to be a true antagonist, intelligent, charismatic, and undeniably powerful. And as anime continues to evolve, we'll undoubtedly see new villains standing on the foundation he built.